support this bill. Thank you very much.
The Honourable Annette King.
Continue on from where Chris Hipkins was and his contribution to this bill. I'm so pleased members opposite are welcoming my contribution. It is going to be a serious one. In fact, I'm going to quote from probably one of the members' own constituents who I met with recently. But Chris Hipkins said, "We know that problems exist in this area, and we are very keen to find solutions." And I think where we ought to start, Mr. Chairman, is to take seriously complaints that have been made about what is going on in this industry. Now, I am aware that there are 3 complaints currently before the Regulations Review Committee. 3 complaints they want heard before this bill passes. They have asked for them to be heard before this bill passes. I have spoken to the chair of the Regulations Review Committee, Mary Ann Street. She is keen to put these complaints on the agenda and have them heard. I will predict, however, Mr. Chairman, that the members of the National Party who now have the majority on that committee, unheard of in this Parliament where you have the Regulations Review Committee without it being a committee that has even numbers on it, I believe they will not allow those complaints to be heard. I will predict that, and if the members opposite can tell me that they will support the hearing of these complaints when the chair calls for them to be heard, say it today. Because what I suspect is this bill is going to be rushed through, the complaints are going to be denied to be heard before that committee before the bill is passed. That is what I believe is going to happen, and so do those who have made the complaints. You see, what has happened because of this last year in particular of uncertainty around this bill and around what is going to happen, even though a bill was introduced in March and the House was told that they needed to pass it very quickly in a short time, then truncated the number of submissions that could be heard. In fact, not all the submissions were heard, and it needed to be passed by the 1st of April, I think, was said at the time. And here we are on really on the 4th of July, although it says the 2nd in the House. It's still only now just being debated. And Mr. Chairman, in that year, I have received, as other members have, from the Plumbers, Gasfitters and Drainage Board, the figures on the number of certified and licensed plumbers, gasfitters and drainlayers for the year 2012-13. So what has happened while we've had this uncertainty and a lack of resolution around the problems in this area? We have seen in the last year overall loss of certifying plumbers of 558. We've seen the loss of certifying gasfitters of 88. We've seen certifying drainlayers lost by 761. In fact, the total loss of licensed and certified drainlayers over this last year is 2,173. Can we afford to have that sort of loss, particularly of licensed drainlayers? They're the ones that actually go out and do the job. Can we afford at this time, when we need to have such trade? What's the member over there crowing about?
The unlicensed ones, the ones that orders the
Well, the licensed ones are leaving the industry because of the lack of certainty around. I'm not talking about unlicensed. I'm not talking about unlicensed plumbers, gasfitters, and drainlayers, Mr. Sabin. Get the figures. These are the licensed ones. So stop yelling and listen for a change. We have seen a loss of 2,173 gasfitters, drainlayers. Mr. Chairman.
Order. Order. Interjections should be rare and reasonable, and a dialogue across here is unacceptable. I ask the member to calm it down, and I'll come back to the Honourable Annette.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Maybe he'd like to take a call rather than just scream from his seat. But what I am saying to this House, that is a huge loss of licensed plumbers and certified plumbers, drainlayers and gasfitters over the last year. Now, there does need to be resolution around this bill. I have had something to do with it in the past. This This Act used to be under the Minister of Health. So I did have some contact with this Act in the past. But now we have so much uncertainty, and we have those who will not pay a licence fee because they believe what's going on is unfair. We do need to find a resolution.
The Honourable Mary Ann Street.
Mr Chairman, thank you very much. I rise to take a call on this